You're not lacking blessings, you're just not seeing them. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but somehow it's still not enough? Like no matter how much you achieve, how hard you try, there's always something missing, just slightly out of reach. What if the problem isn't your life? What if the problem is the way you've been taught to look at it? Because most people spend years chasing what they think will make them feel fulfilled, only to arrive there and realize it doesn't feel the way they imagined. I remember talking to someone who had everything most people want: money, stability, a life that looked perfect from the outside. But when he described how he felt, it was empty. Not because he lacked anything, but because something deeper was missing. And that's when it clicked for me. Maybe the most important things in our lives aren't the ones we're chasing. Maybe they're the ones we've been overlooking this whole time. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple signs that you're already more blessed than you think. Not flashy things, not things people can easily see, but the kind that quietly shape how your life actually feels. And as you listen, I want you to ask yourself one question. What if you already have more than you think? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most of us have just been measuring our lives the wrong way. We grow up believing a blessed life looks like success, money, things on the outside. But if that were true, then the people who have it all would feel the most fulfilled. And yet, so many of them don't, which means maybe the shift isn't about getting more. Maybe it's about finally seeing what's already there, because the real blessings are often quiet, and the first one is something most people are still searching for. It's peace. The first sign you're more blessed than you realize is something most people are still chasing, even after they get everything they thought they wanted. It's peace of mind, not happiness. Peace, because happiness comes and goes. It shows up when life is going well, when things are working out. But peace is different. Peace is that steady feeling underneath everything, even when life isn't perfect. I remember talking to someone who had what most people would call a successful life. Good money, stable career, everything looked right from the outside. But he told me he couldn't even sit in silence without feeling anxious. His mind was always racing, always thinking about the next problem, the next thing to fix. And that's when it really hit me. You can have everything on the outside and still feel unsettled on the inside. Because peace isn't something you automatically get when you achieve more. It's something many people never learn how to experience at all. But maybe you felt it before, even briefly. Briefly. That moment at night when you lay down, and for a second everything feels quiet. Nothing is perfect, but nothing feels out of control either. You're not chasing anything, you're not trying to prove anything, you're just okay. And if you felt that even once, don't overlook it. Because there are people spending years trying to feel what you've already experienced. So instead of chasing peace like it's somewhere far away, maybe it's something you already have and just need to protect. Now let's look at something even simpler, something you experienced today without even thinking about it. The second sign is so simple that most people hear it and immediately move past it. You ate today. And I know that doesn't sound like much at first. It might even feel like something too obvious to matter. But if you slow down for just a moment and really think about it, it means more than we usually allow ourselves to see. Because for you, eating today was probably routine. Maybe you grabbed something quickly. Maybe it wasn't even that memorable. But somewhere in the world, there are people who go to sleep, not knowing when their next meal will come. For them, food isn't a habit, it's a question mark. I remember reading about families who have to choose between paying rent or buying groceries for the week, and suddenly something as simple as a meal stops being ordinary and becomes something uncertain. But for most of us, there's a quiet stability we've gotten used to. We don't ask if we'll eat. We ask what we feel like eating. And that difference, that shift from uncertainty to certainty, is a form of security we rarely stop to appreciate. The mistake we often make is assuming that what's normal for us is normal for everyone. And over time, we become blind to things that are actually deeply meaningful. So maybe the lesson here isn't just be grateful for food, but to recognize that having your basic needs met consistently is not something small. It's a foundation that many people are still struggling to reach. And when you start to see it that way, even the simplest parts of your day begin to carry more weight, a little more meaning. Because sometimes the blessings that matter most are the ones we've repeated so many times. We stopped noticing them. And the next one isn't something you have every day, it's someone. The third sign feels simple on the surface, but when you really sit with it, it hits a lot deeper than you expect. You have at least one person you can truly count on. Not someone who just likes your posts, not someone who replies when it's convenient, but someone real. Someone you could call at 2 a.m., not because it's easy, but because you need them and they would actually pick up. Take a second and think about that. Is there one person like that in your life? Because if the answer is yes, you have something incredibly rare. We live in a time where people are more connected than ever, but at the same time, more alone than ever. You can have thousands of followers, conversations happening all day, and still feel like there's no one you can truly lean on. I remember hearing about someone who looked like they had everything: friends, network, constant interaction. But when they went through one of the hardest moments of their life, they didn't know who to call. Not because people weren't around, but because no one felt close enough to really understand. And that's the difference. It's not about how many people you know. It's about whether there's someone who knows you, your story, your struggles, your real self, and still chooses to stay. But here's the mistake a lot of people make. In the pursuit of success, independence, or just staying busy, they slowly neglect the very relationships that matter most. They assume those connections will always be there, that they can come back to them later, until one day there's a distance they didn't intend to create. And that's why this matters, because one real connection, just one, is more valuable than 100 surface-level ones. It's the difference between feeling supported and feeling alone in a crowded room. So if you have that person, don't take it lightly. Reach out to them, not because you need something, but because they matter. Because relationships like that don't just exist. They're built and they're maintained. And when you start to see it that way, you realize you're not as alone as you sometimes feel. Now, there's one more thing you experienced today, something so automatic, so expected, that most people never stop to question it at all. The fourth sign is something so ordinary, so automatic, that we almost never stop to think about it. You woke up today, and I know how easy it is to hear that and just move on. It feels obvious, expected, even. But the truth is, it's neither of those things. Every single day, there are people who had plans, responsibilities, people waiting for them, and they didn't wake up. Not because they did anything wrong, not because they saw it coming. It just happened. I remember hearing about a young man who went to sleep after a completely normal day. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. He had plans for the next morning, things he was looking forward to. But he never got the chance to live that next day. And stories like that are uncomfortable to think about. But they remind us of something we often ignore. Time isn't guaranteed, and yet most of us live as if it is. We delay things that matter. We say, I'll do it later. I'll say it another time. I'll enjoy life once things settle down. But the reality is, later is a promise no one actually has. So the fact that you opened your eyes today, that you were given another day, another chance, another opportunity to move forward, to fix something, to appreciate something that's not small, that's a gift. And maybe the lesson here is simple but powerful. Don't treat today like it's just another day. Treat it like it's something you were given, not something you're owed. Because when you start to see it that way, even ordinary moments begin to feel a little more meaningful. And there's one more thing, something that quietly shapes how you experience everything we've talked about so far. It's what gives all of this direction. The fifth sign is the one that quietly gives meaning to everything else. It's faith, or simply the belief that your life has a direction, even if you can't fully see it yet. Because you can have peace, you can have food, you can have people, you can even have more time. But without meaning, it can all feel empty, like you're just going through the motions without really knowing why. The hardest season wasn't when things fell apart. It was when everything looked fine, but nothing felt meaningful. That's the difference faith makes. It doesn't mean you have all the answers. It just means there's still a part of you that believes this isn't the end of your story. And that small belief changes everything. When things get hard, you don't give up as easily. You see challenges differently. You keep going, even when it's unclear. The mistake people make is thinking faith has to be strong to matter. Sometimes it's just a quiet decision to not quit today. And if you still have that, even a little, then you have something powerful. Because that's what turns survival into something that actually feels like it has a purpose. And when you step back and look at it, you might already have more than you think. But here's something worth pausing on for a moment. If you already have some of these things, why do you still feel like it's not enough sometimes? That feeling doesn't come from nowhere. A big part of it is comparison. You open your phone, and within seconds, you're seeing someone who seems further ahead, more successful, more fulfilled. And without even realizing it, your mind starts measuring your life against theirs, and suddenly, what you have feels smaller. Then there's something quieter. Adaptation. The things you once prayed for, worked for, hoped for, slowly become normal. What used to feel like a blessing turns into something expected. And when that happens, you stop noticing it. I once heard someone say, I asked for this life, and then I forgot I ever asked for it. And that's the trap. Because when you combine comparison, adaptation, and constant distraction, you don't lose your blessings, you just lose your awareness of them. So maybe the problem isn't that your life isn't enough. Maybe it's that you haven't been taught how to see it clearly. Because gratitude isn't automatic, it's something you practice. And once you start noticing what's already there, something shifts. So let's make this simple and turn it into something you can actually use. So instead of just hearing all of this and moving on, let's make it real for a moment. Here's something simple you can do today. First, Take a minute and name 3 things you already have. Real things, not big goals, just what's already in your life. It could be your peace, a person you trust, or even the fact that you made it through today. Then use one of them. If there's someone in your life you thought about earlier, send them a message. Not because you need anything, just to remind them they matter. And finally, pause. Just sit for a moment, without distractions, without your phone, and let yourself actually feel what's already there. No rushing, no chasing, just noticing. Because the lesson here isn't complicated. It's that the life you're trying to build might already be partially here. And when you start to see that clearly, everything begins to shift, even in small ways. And that brings us back to something simple, but easy to forget. So when you look at your life again, maybe the question isn't, what am I missing? But what have I been overlooking? Because you might not be behind. You might just not be seeing clearly yet. And if even one part of this stayed with you, just type one word in the comments. Blessed. Not for anyone else, just as a reminder to yourself. And if you know someone who needs this right now, send it to them. Because sometimes a small shift in perspective changes everything.